For this problem, we want to write the equation for a line that has a slope of -2/5 and passes through -3, -1. Now, in previous problems, we were very lucky. We were given the y-intercept. So we were able to use y equals mx plus b and find the equation. This time, our point is not the y-intercept, which means we're not going to be able to use the y equals mx plus b format. We need something else. And this is where the equation, the point slope format, comes in. That equation is, let's write this down, the point slope form of a line. The point slope form of a line is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, this requires us to have the slope, which we're given, but it also requires us to have the point. Obviously, like the name of the thing is called point slope. We're not that creative, okay? So you got to have a point and the slope. We're given the slope, but the point that we're given, we need to label. So this point, -3, -1, is going to represent x1. So the x value, the x1 in this case, will be -3, and the y1 is going to be -1. Okay, so when we are plugging in here, this y and this x stays as y and x. That's going to create our equation. But then your other things, your y1, the m, and the x1 is all being plugged in. So let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be y minus from the formula, but then y1 we need to plug in. We need to substitute. So this has to have parentheses around it because we have a minus from the formula and a -1 for the y1. Equals m, this is our m. It clearly says the slope is -2/5. So this is -2/5, parentheses. The x is going to stay to create that equation, minus x1. x1 is -3. So we need another parentheses here to plug in. Okay, it's a lot going on here, but that's okay. Let's take it a step at a time and simplify this. Now, our whole goal, let me tell you what the answer should look like. The answer should look like y equals blah, blah, blah. Okay, our end result is going to be y equals mx plus b format. So we can't start that way, but that's how we're going to end. All right, but that requires a lot of simplification here. So our next step is going to be, I want you to simplify these double negatives. So we have, instead of y minus -1, we have y plus 1 equals -2/5 x plus 3. Okay, so simplify double negatives. That was first step after substituting. Next step, we have parentheses over here, so we are distributing on the right-hand side. Be careful, we are distributing in a fraction, so this is where your calculator will come in handy. Okay, so y plus 1 equals, let's distribute this. So remember, there's a 1 in front. This is going to be -2/5 x. And then we are multiplying -2/5 times 3. I'm going to go over to the side and show you real quick. -2/5 times 3, I want you to think of this as 3/1, and your rule for multiplying fractions is to multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. I want you to assume that negative is on top, okay? So -2 times 3 is -6 over 5 times 1 is 5. So this would be -6/5. That's pretty easy to do without a calculator, okay? So that's that step. Lastly, we are solving again for y. So we want y by itself. We want to push the 1 to the other side by doing the opposite operation. So we are going to subtract 1 from both sides. And this is y equals -2/5 x. And now we're doing -6/5 minus 1. You are welcome to put that in the calculator and speed through this part real quick if you want. But I want to show you real quick. This is 1/1, -6/5. We need an LCD of 5. So we've got 5 and 1. We've talked about this previously on how to do that. So we want a LCD to have this 5 there. That means that this 1/1 needs to be 5/5. And then how do you subtract fractions, you're going to do the top, but keep the bottom number the same. As long as they're obviously like, they have to be the same denominator, okay? It has to have an LCD. So negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11 over 5. You could absolutely put that in the calculator. Just be really careful in simplifying and entering that in your calculator. So this is going to be negative 11 fifths. So our answer is y equals negative 2 fifths x minus 11 fifths, okay? If they were to ask you, because sometimes you do all of this, and it asks you, okay, now at this point, what's the slope? Well, obviously the slope here is the negative 2 fifths. We got that from the problem. But it may also say, what is b? What is b in this problem? And that b is negative 11 fifths. That's really what we were trying to find here. Okay, that's what we don't know from the get-go. All right, so our equation that this is asking for using the point slope form is y equals 2 fifths x minus 11 fifths.